Good evening and Merry Christmas. Welcome to episode 32 of Swiss Army Sports. Today is Christmas Eve, December 23rd in the Big 25. I'm your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Ospey Governors, and partially Houston Cougars. Joined by my side at our little bit of a makeshift setup today is the main event electricity, former offensive lineman for the Hendricks College Warriors, Luke Wallman. And at the edge of the table, local frat boy of Mississippi State, the producer, Michael Spain. We have a jam-packed episode today. Obviously, Thursday is Christmas, tomorrow being Christmas Eve. Our next episode, we will be recording from we'll call it a neutral site.
Oh my God, I'm actually doing that.
In Gulf Shores, Alabama, at the beach, Orange Beach. You know,
the podcast will get canceled after that episode.
Yeah, this is a risky episode from many different angles.
See, I think I'm gonna be the most drunk. I feel like probably, and then I don't know where we go from there.
I thought we would like record on Sunday or something like that.
Well, we're gonna.
How about we I don't know.
We are going to be recording this on New Year's Eve.
I don't think
That is such a good idea. It's such a bad idea.
we'll see what
we will be golfing in the morning, and I plan on recording around about an hour after we get back before we play football on the beach. Anyway,
I'm gonna be
that is a that is a day. That is a day.
our picks recap.
Western Kentucky touchdown.
Let's go. We've got our game picks recap for December 18th and 22nd. NFL Week 16 recap. World Dart Championship is finally through 2 rounds after 13 days. I've watched, I think, every single match but 2. Last week's college basketball picks recap. Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs. Go ahead, what?
Unemployment final boss.
Hey, I actually watched it work today. So, Brian, if you're listening to this, no, you didn't. Bowl game picks for, well, today. We already have a result. Through December 30th. Best college football bets for that time period, as well as our NFL Week 17 picks and preview, pre-Week 17 power rankings, best NFL bets. Our college basketball picks for that 23rd to 30th time period. We have the IIHF World Juniors, which is a hockey tournament, one of my favorite sporting events of the year. That comes on the 26th of December starting up. So we will give our predictions, gold, silver, and bronze, and I'll throw a little dark horses out there. And then who's hot and who's not to conclude our episode today on a Tuesday. Let's talk about these bowl picks, guys. We had the Xbox Bowl, which possibly had the coolest bowl trophy I've ever seen, an actual playable trophy, and y'all all swung and missed while me and Jalen Rayner took this one to the house, and Arkansas State got it done in the Star in Fort Worth, Texas. Did anyone watch this game?
No, because wasn't it during? No,
It was 8 p.m. on a
No. Was it at? Oh yeah, it was. It was the late game. It was
a
just
late
different
game. Yeah.
The Kennesaw State game was at like 11 a.m. Right? Like I woke up and it was 21-0.
Yeah. So our next game, the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Kennesaw State evidently just didn't get off the bus. It was 21-0, as you said before you even woke up. Yeah, but it seems like Kennesaw State had a little too much fun at Myrtle Beach. It was an absolute just boat race from the get-go, 41-6 for the Broncos of Western Michigan.
Talk about a boat race in the next game.
Oh
Yeah, look, I mean, this was free money if you wanted to bet on it, which I did, and it literally was the freest cash I've ever received in my entire life. NC State beat Memphis 31-7. Memphis looked like, as we all anticipated, they did not want to be there in the Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa. They had a very fun bowl week from what I understand, but they did not have a fun game. Absolutely got written out the door by NC State, which is just such a fitting end to this Memphis season. Lost 4 out of your last 5 and 4 in a row. Oh, no, 5 of your last 6 and 4 in a row. So that's a stretch of games there for the Tigers. Then we get into the playoffs. And let's dive into these playoff games a little bit. Alabama was down 17-0 And your boy put a live play in there, plus 980. And it cashed because Bama came storming back. Now, I thought, and I don't know if y'all agree, the turning point in this game was absolutely the pick six.
Yes.
I disagree. I would say the turning point, to be honest, was either the personal foul that
Eliminated touchdown or the drop.
The punt?
no, well, not the punt. I don't know if the punt came right after this, but actually, now that I think about it, when Mateer rolled out and could have ran for the first down, but decided to chunk a shot
and he dropped
30 yards down the field to the running back, and he dropped it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the punt drop happened right after that or
I
not,
think it did.
but yeah, that was pretty much the downfall for Oklahoma. I mean, you were probably thinking who could ever run the ball would win this game since both the teams can't run the ball, and that just wasn't the case. It was a choke job.
It was
For
100%.
Pure Oklahoma playoff fashion. They were up the last time they were up in the playoff game was at Georgia in the Rose Bowl, up 14. Ended up losing the game. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not used to being this far away.
Yeah, I know. Again, makeshift. We're setting up for Christmas Eve. This next game in College Station was an absolute. You could have slept through this game and you wouldn't have missed anything. 10-3, Miami got it done. Scored late to go up 7. Texas A&M had their chance. Got it to 3rd and goal. Ball at like the 4. I thought you had enough time within, when they were 1st and goal with like 50 something seconds left to run the ball.
Yeah.
You had time to run the ball. In that event, I think they would have scored. Marcel Reed threw an absolute Stevie Wonder into the end zone to end that game. Very fitting that A&M, in A&M fashion, has the best season they've had in like 20, maybe ever. Since
And
like
they lose their last
post
two.
World War II, and that's how they lose is by scoring 3 points, and your quarterback, who's led you the entire year, was in the Heisman conversation, threw a pick in the end zone. Honestly, I don't like Miami, but
Those edge rushers are good.
oh yeah,
Like that, which one of them had 3 sacks, I know, which the offensive lineman literally said, we're not going to have an issue with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Whenever people say that, it
but
always
also
backfires.
he won the lineman of the year, or whatever award that is in
Yeah.
the SEC. So it's
Yeah.
not like he's a slouch either. Those 2 defensive ends are just that good. So it'll be interesting to see him this week.
it will be interesting to see what Miami does against Ohio State. This next game, I missed badly. It was 41-10 for Ole Miss. This game was very competitive, actually, in the first half.
It was.
Tulane really, honestly, had a chance to be like tied at the half. A bad interception on that first drive for them, deep within Ole Miss territory, and then a turnover on downs in the red zone. It just, you had to play mistake-free football if you were Tulane, and I don't think it's a 41-10 game if they keep it that close at the half. I think Ole Miss kind of puckers up a little bit, but they didn't. And the same goes for our next game. Actually, first, before we go to JMU Oregon, what do y'all take away in terms of Ole Miss from this game, Luke, then Michael?
Offense played really well. I mean, Golden kind of said it. I mean, obviously Kiffin had an impact, but the offense still looked like it clicked with the play calling with Charlie Weiss. And I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. This is a motivated team. They all I feel like most of them, not going to say all of them because some of them probably will end up transferring to LSU, but most of them I would think, feel a little bit disrespected in how Lane handled that whole ordeal. So, I mean, maybe they'll give Georgia a run for their money. I mean, if that offense plays very well like it can, I mean, who knows,
No, 100%. Michael?
I hate to say it because, I'm an Ole Miss hater, but they really do have the best path right now because they are playing a repeat team in the second round who was up 10 in the fourth quarter at Georgia, which is very rare. They pretty much kind of threw the game. Their defense kind of folded and the offense was stagnant at the end of the fourth quarter. I mean, it really looked like Ole Miss was going to come away with that. I mean, this is the year for Ole Miss, I'm not going to lie, because I don't see them being as successful next year just because all the offensive coaches are going to LSU. So Lacey's probably definitely going to LSU. Don't know about Chambliss just because of all the other high stellar quarterbacks in the portal. But the stars are aligning for the Rebels right now. And, I mean, Georgia's my national champion pick, so I do think they're going to get it done. But probably will be the best game of the second round.
I agree. It'll be a good game. I do think the Dogs get it done. A little bit of a preview. This next game, scoreline says it was interesting. I think it was interesting in the terms that James Madison, kind of like Tulane, had opportunities to keep this game close in the first half and just was unable to capitalize. And penalties was really a big killer for James Madison. I think the tide kind of turns when Oregon blocked that field goal, that second field goal for James Madison, and the blocked punt for a touchdown really was the difference maker. Because if you take away the blocked field goal and the blocked punt, that's 10 points. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point ball game. I think James Madison, statistically, they, had over 500 yards of offensive production. Yeah. They hung in there and they gave G5s a good name in this game, which is what all I wanted. But Oregon did get the job done. The takeaway really here is Oregon offense is very prolific, but I have questions about the defense. What about you, Luke, then Michael?
It's a huge shout out to JMU because they put all these stats up. No one scored over 30 or like 35 versus Oregon this year, and they did. And you can say, oh, they're back. No, their backups were not in. They did not substitute. In the playoffs, you don't really substitute unless
they had some backup defenders in for one drive.
Yeah, one drive. People online are acting like that was the whole second half, which I don't think is true.
It's not. So,
I mean, shout out JMU, but I blanked. I completely blanked. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, Michael, what do you think about this Oregon team?
I'm not worried. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna beat Tech. Ooh. But
that Tech defense, man.
Yeah, but it's the Oregon offense.
I think it's a bad matchup for Oregon.
I think it's a great matchup for Oregon. I don't think Tech can handle them in the secondary. Oregon's receivers are insane. I mean, the one-handed grab was by the backup tight end. Sadiq is their starting tight end, and he's the best tight end in the country. And then you have receivers like Moore, and I'm telling you, man, Evan Stewart, he's going to play against Tech, and it's going to be nasty.
And by the way, there's a framed picture of Michael in an Oregon jersey on the refrigerator, but no bias. And then we had the famous, Idaho Potato Bowl. Washington State took care of business the entire time, ran away with it late. Utah State had a little bit of pushback in the second half, mostly the fourth quarter. Washington State able to get it done. This was just more for me. This quarterback for Utah State that's been pretty prolific all year just really did not come to perform in this Potato Bowl. And Washington State, given their coaching staff leaving, they looked like a complete team that really wanted to win this bowl game. And huge shout out for them. 7-6 season, good for Wazoo, especially with the way it kind of started out. When you got 50-piece by North Texas, who would have thought you got a bowl win? Good on the Cougs. Michael, you had something to add for this game?
No, this is just a producer ad. Get back out and then get back in present mode real quick. Thank you. I added a slide.
Okay.
Oh, I do have something actually to add.
Okay.
Washington State broke the Idaho Potato Bowl record for offense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Will.
Okay. I picked Washington State. Michael, you have a segment.
Well, I think we should just go around. I'm pretty sure everyone probably has a base idea of this. Or at least me and Will were talking. Me and Will were talking. Luke can think about it. But I'm sure he's probably thought about it before. If he would change anything about the playoffs, what would you do? I'll let Will go first because I hate his take. But
I have two takes. I think Luke may have given me this other one, but I can't remember 100%. One's the one that kind of breaks my heart, and it's the one that makes the most sense in my mind. It's the one that you hate, and it's the one where you go to a 2014 playoff. Every conference gets an auto bid, and you get 14 at-large bids. You cut the bowl games down to 20 because that's presumably how many more eligible teams you have left. I don't think you get rid of the 6-6 thing. I mean, that would do absolutely horrible things for a lot of programs if you don't have any postseason in mind, if you're like not, a top team. So you don't have the famous Toastery Bowl, in my opinion. You have bowl games. You have like 20 to 25, and you have this 24-team playoff. It encompasses every team, and it allows every conference to get a stab at a national championship. The other thing is the one I think you presented to me, and you may elaborate on it. A play-in. Was that you?
That was me.
Okay. Well, I'll let Michael handle that one. Is that going to be your take?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if I'm going to submit my one way how I would change the playoff, it's 24 teams. If not, just be clean cut 16 no buys. G5 still gets a bid. All top 5 conferences get auto bids.
You said 16?
16 cut. If you're not doing the 24 and cutting down the bowl games, then 16 flat, no buys. First 2 rounds are on campus. Luke,
Yeah, do
Go
you have
ahead.
something?
I do. I'll have 2 things. So my one thing, if they are going to keep this same format, this next round should be at home.
100%.
Your final 4 games should be the bowl games. Should be the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl. This next round that they're about to play should be at home because effectively, like let's look at Indiana. You are having to go out to the Rose Bowl. That is not at all a home game. Now, granted, you're playing Alabama, which is not a home game for them, but still, you're having to travel all the way out to California. Like that should be a home game for you. There's no reason that you should have to go to California as the 1 seed. Like you should play a home game on campus. But the NCAA obviously wants a money grab, so they're going to make as many bowl games as possible. My second thing is, you're probably going to hate this. I would love to see the FCS sort of format because I think, granted, you can't do 32 teams.
No, it's 24 in the FCS.
It's 24?
Yeah, it's 24.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 32.
Well, they also have 10 conferences.
Yeah.
They get 10 auto bids and 14 at large. I mean, it just makes that format makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense though because I think that just loses complete value in making the playoffs.
So you're saying the FCS playoffs has no value?
No one watches it except for the championship game.
Well,
or the final
I've been
four.
following.
I've also been following, and you can say it has no value, but Illinois State.
Look at Illinois State.
Illinois State is in it. They're not ranked. They beat the number 1 team, North Dakota
No, but
State.
I'm saying that has always how it's been in the FCS. So that's valuable for them. But we just had 4 teams, 3 years ago? And it was competitive. And it was like, man, you had to be perfect or
This
whatever.
would be a competitive format.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's a
it will
gauntlet.
be as competitive.
It's a gauntlet.
It's not. Let me tell. All right, I have the ranking of the top 25 that would be in the playoffs if it was the 24.
Well,
And you have
afraid of
teams
what it
like
would've been.
Houston. Houston does not
No,
deserve
Houston
to
does
be
not
in
make
it.
the
Houston wouldn't be in it.
No, Houston wouldn't be in it.
Champion.
How would Houston not be in it?
So here's what this year's 2014 play. I'm glad you asked. For 2014 playoff would have looked. Top 8 teams get buys. So Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M, and Oklahoma, respectively.
So you would rather have like a MAC team in?
So hold on. Tell me these aren't exciting first round matchups. USC heads to Bama. Pitt heads to Miami. Michigan heads to Texas. Navy heads to BYU. James Madison heads to Tulane. Duke heads to Notre Dame. Virginia heads to Utah. And Arizona heads to Vanderbilt. So I guess if you would have gone by, if they didn't include a MAC team for whatever RJ Young, I guess, got confused and thought Navy was in the MAC. Pitt at 24 would have been Western Michigan, and I would have loved to see Western Michigan play Miami. That is a very contrasting offensive style.
Yeah.
Western Michigan.
Yeah,
really
but
runs
none
for
of those
300.
teams have a shot to win the whole thing.
That-
And
That's
the
not
whole
the
point.
point.
Yes,
That's
it is
not
the point of
No, that's
playoffs.
not the point.
Yes,
You
it
have
is
to
the
be
point of
able
the
to give-
playoffs.
You have to be able to give 136 teams something to compete for at the end of the season. That's what all the people on social media do not get. You have to give these kids a reason to play.
They do have a reason to
What's
play.
the reason?
Hold on.
They all compete for conference championships.
There has to be a bigger picture.
Also,
Everyone doesn't get a fucking cookie, man.
you can say if they don't have a chance. I'm going to call back to the FCS thing. North Dakota State, who has been the premier powerhouse in FCS.
Yeah, but the Illinois
lost to Illinois State.
State win the next round.
Yes,
They're
they're
still
in the
in
national
the
championship.
They-
No, I thought it was Montana State.
No, that was the semifinal.
It's Montana State versus Illinois State in Nashville.
Okay, well FCS is different.
Obviously.
No,
But-
Luke is 100%
I mean,
correct. That is the equivalent of
It's a Cinderella, which I get Cinderellas were less popular in football, but it can still happen. Like last year, Notre Dame. I mean, they went to the final. I didn't think they were going to get to the final. That was, I would say, is more of a Cinderella.
They also lost to NIU.
Yes, they lost NIU in the beginning of the year. So that I could say that's the Cinderella in this format. But it can happen. You can have big upsets. It's 60 minutes or however long it is.
It just can't happen though, because
What's
when
your
you get
format?
to the FBS,
We gotta go on. What's your format?
you're just pissed because I'm right.
No,
I'm not.
let's hear it.
I just want to hear your format.
This format's way better. But first off, the top 10 teams are in, no matter what. No auto bids at all. Top 10 are in. The 14th, then there's 11, 12, 13, 14. One of those is saved for the G5.
Okay.
Unless the G5 is in the top 10, then it's the 14th ranked team. And then the G5 team is going to play the 13th ranked team. And the 11th and 12th are going to play. And it's going to be play-in games to play the 5th and 6th seed?
Well, if by your
Yes.
thought
It'd be the 5th and
process,
6th
you
seed.
would probably do it to where you play the 1 or the 2.
No, because the top 4 still get buys. It's the same bracket.
Okay. So yes, you would say they get the 5th and 6th seed.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the best way to keep the G5 in. And you would have included Notre Dame, BYU, and Texas this year, because Texas has the win over Vanderbilt by their rankings here.
So that means you would essentially
And
also
there is no teams outside. I mean, you could theoretically say that Texas, if they probably wouldn't win the national championship, but Texas could beat a couple of teams in the top 10. Vanderbilt could, but Texas won the head-to-head. But outside of that, Utah, USC, Arizona, Michigan, they're probably not gonna beat any of the top tier teams like Texas has a shot of beating. So I think that's the best format.
I don't hate that format because you allowed. The bone I have to pick is the people that want to do away with the G5 auto bid completely. And the only bone I have to pick with this is because if there is like a dominant 11-1 G5 team, they will not rank them in the top 12. That it's just they won't.
Boise State was undefeated and they got a bye.
But they also
they lost one.
there is logo bias with Boise State.
They lost to Oregon last year by 7.
Okay, well, yeah, they're pretty much undefeated.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We got
But,
yeah.
you
Go ahead.
know, also 24 teams, then you're getting into too many games and
Well, they
injuries
would cut
and stuff like
the-
that.
You'd have to cut back the conference play. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but they already just signed an agreement to 9
I don't
conference.
think you even have to cut back on the conference.
I think the season would be way too
It's
long. if you
one
do
more
24.
game than the FCS. One more.
The season's already too long.
All right. Okay. Well, there's our bowl picks leaderboard. Cha-ching. I'm at 9-4. Luke 6-6. Michael 6-7, and Chase 5-7. Week 16 of the NFL. As a Cowboys fan, very underwhelming because we don't care anymore. But in other terms, it's really good. The Seahawks had a huge comeback win.
But that overhit.
Yeah, hell yeah, it did. Huge comeback win for the Seahawks on Thursday night. Luke, you had that one right. The Eagles trounced the Commanders. We missed on that. The Bears, an immaculate comeback win against the Packers.
You didn't miss. I had that right.
What?
The Eagles. You said we missed on that.
Me and Michael. Yeah, Luke had that right. Sorry.
Thank you.
Michael missed on the Packers.
Hey, no. Luke only got 3 wrong, so he should take over this segment. Yeah, you got them all right, Luke. No, you go. Call each game out. Because you're going to say, I won. So go ahead.
The Cowboys lost to the Chargers. Chase had the Chargers. We all had the Vikes. They beat the Giants. We all had the Bills. They beat the Browns. Me and Luke were right. The Titans got it done against the Chiefs. Michael and Chase.
Sorry, Gardner Minshew tore his ACL.
They weren't going to win with Gardner Minshew. They were still down. Luke and Michael had it right with the Bengals over the Dolphins. We all had the Saints. They were right. Luke, standing alone, he knew the Panthers would get the job done, and they did. Me and Luke were also right. The Jags went to Mile High and defeated the Broncos. Everybody but Luke was right. Falcons over the Cards. Everybody was wrong about the Lions against the Steelers. Everybody was barely right with the Texans over the Raiders. They won by 2. Everybody was right about the Pats over the Ravens. And Michael and Chase had the Niners over the
That
Colts.
Colts defense was so bad.
Yes, it
He
was.
let up
That
20
Colts defense,
37.
that Colts defense was like the same thing as like the Cowboys defense.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Rivers put up 27, and like you would have
Insane.
thought, oh my gosh, they won that game. Nope.
So we're gonna head to World Darts Champ. We're heading over to the Alley Pally in London. We're gonna talk World Darts Championship. But before I do so, I just wanted to do this for people that listen to our podcast that may not be familiar with our favorite darter, Michael Van Gerwen. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen from the Netherlands, the winner of 157 PDC titles worldwide, a 7-time Premier League champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of 6 World Grand Prix titles. He is the 3-time champion of the world. Michael.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting any of that. I don't think we're receiving any of that.
I heard it completely.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
Well,
mighty
Aura.
Michael Van Gerwen is Aura, and he got the job done today in beautiful fashion against Willie O'Connor of Ireland. So we have the World Dart Championship through 2 rounds. A lot of seeded darters have fallen. We do have the current seeded guys still left. 1 Luke Littler, 2 Luke Humphreys, 16 Damon Hedda, 17 Rob Cross, 15 Nathan Aspinall, 10 John Van Veen, 25 Luke Woodhouse, 4 Stephen the Bullet Bunting, 3 Mighty Michael Van Gerwen, 14 Gary Anderson, 19 Jermaine Watermina, 13 Martin Schindler, 20 Ryan Searle, 5 Johnny Clayton, 11 Josh Brock. So let's revisit our picks from the beginning.
I'll ask one thing for Will.
Yeah, let's go back to the bracket.
Who would you say? Let's just go with. I mean, I guess the top 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, all in, right?
No, they're still in. Yep.
Out of the top 4, who has the hardest path and who has the easiest path?
Well, I would say right now, the hardest path absolutely belongs to Luke Humphreys. I mean, he should easily get past Gabriel Clemens, but you have to go against 15 Nathan Aspinall, walks out to Mr. Brightside, crowd usually on his favor. Kevin Dotes has also been throwing really good darts. But then let's go to the bottom half of that section of the bracket. Charlie Manbury probably won't be a factor. He's a first-timer, 19-year-old. But Rapid Ricky Evans has been playing elite darts. Those are the fastest darts. Changes pace. Could be a problem for Luke Humphreys. He's also another crowd favorite. And then the 10-seeded John Van Veen, if he can face Luke Humphreys in the quarterfinals, it's going to be a problem for Luke. This kid is basically Littler 2.0, although they're around the same age. He is scoring at a prolific rate. I'm pretty sure he averaged around a ton, which is 100 for you Americans out here. He averaged around a ton in his last match. And Van Veen's
What's a ton?
around 100.
Okay.
It's 100, yeah.
You got
And Van Veen has been like 60% on his double checkouts. So if Luke Humphreys absolutely has the hardest path, the hardest immediate path is probably Stephen Bunting. He's going to have to play the winner of Ryan Searle and Martin Schindler, who are both playing well. But I think if he gets past them, he should have a relatively easy, path to the semifinals. The easiest path has to go to Luke Littler, which is unfortunate. I don't like him at all. But, I mean, he should take care of Hedda or Cross. And then between Gilding, Woodhouse, Pleisner, and Ratoshki, I mean, the only person I could see out of those 4 really giving Littler any sort of trouble is and go look up a picture of him, and that's why I'm laughing. Wesley Pleisner has been throwing unbelievable darts. He has some sort of problem with his that is not how you spell that at all.
Say Wesley.
Wesley
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Plaiser. Look at teeth. Teeth is the first thing that pops up. He has something wrong with his mouth. I don't know what it is.
He's the one to beat Going Pro.
Yeah, his gums kind of flap out. Anyway, don't care how goofy looking he is. He's been throwing really good darts. So that's the only reason I could see Luke Littler tripping up. Other than that, we're shaping up for a really exciting like Final Four in the World Darts Championship. Well, even Elite Eight. You could have Humphreys versus Van Veen, Van Gerwen versus Rock, Clayton Bunting and Littler, and I'm gonna probably assume Plazer is going to be a very exciting Elite Eight in the World Darts Championship. So again, let's revisit our picks. All of our champion picks are still alive. Michael nailed his flop. Gerwin Price out in the second round to Wesley Plazer. The rest of these three, I'm giving one more round before I count them incorrectly as a flop, other than the two Lukes. If they fall short of the semifinals, I will give it correct. If not, you missed. The Asp, Nathan Aspinall, I'm going to give myself one more round for a flop. Dark horses. If I knew I could have picked Van Gerwen, I would have. I didn't know that was a dark horse. Yes, I know.
Number 3 in the world underdog.
I just looked at the betting odds, and he had huge odds. All right.
Well, me and Michael with the true dark horses, Wessel Nijman and Michael Smith both bounced. Both seeded with Nijman 30 and Smith 25. So our picks last week in college basketball, we thought it was going to be a pretty chalk week, and it was, except Duke decided to blow it against Texas Tech. Kentucky took care of business in St. John's. The Houston Cougars, UH, Yahoo, beat the Arkansas Razorbacks. Purdue beat Auburn. Texas Tech beat Duke. We were all wrong on that one, and then we were all four correct on the next three, with Arizona beating San Diego State. Vandy trounced Wake Forest, and Gonzaga beat Oregon. Our leaderboard.
Vandy, man. Vandy's looking good.
Vandy is damn good. Michael, 40-9 on the college basketball picks. Chase 22-7, which is also a very strong start. Luke 33-16. Me 32-17. So let's get into it. The Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Luke had a great day today, doing all kinds of Christmas stuff.
Per usual, we're going to dive into it via Siri. Luke, you always get the first number pick. What are you thinking?
You know what? We're going to go 2. Just have a good feeling.
Michael.
I'll go 7.
Okay. Tough spot. I'll go 3.
You
Doesn't matter. It's going to be 1.
Pick a number between 1 and 10. It is 5. Me and Michael have to redraw.
We do.
Yep, pick a number.
I'll stick with 7.
Okay, I'll go 6.
All right.
Pick a number between 1 and 10. It is 4. I will go first. Mike will go second. And Luke, as usual, will go last. Top Christmas songs. Pull up your playlists. Let's see what we get. And I think I have to go 1-1 is going to be, and hold on, let me pull up my notes so I can record these.
There's a lot.
There is a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot.
All right. My 1-1 is obviously All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas. And that's an easy 1-1.
Yeah, I would say if you fumbled that 1-1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the biggest 1-1 we've had.
That is probably the easiest 1-1 we've had. Michael, what are you going with 2?
Quick question. Are we going like just song? Because like different artists sing the same
No,
song.
100% song and artist.
And artist?
Song and artist.
Okay. I'm going to do Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, but I'm not doing Mariah. I'm doing the original of Darling Love, because that one is a lot better. And that's the one, and all the sports edits, the Christmas song is that one. So that's the one I'm picking.
Baby, Please Come Home. Darlene Love.
This one.
Yeah. Okay, up to now.
That's a
No,
banger
that's a
song.
that's a classic. I like that.
That is a good song.
Luke, next 2 to you.
All right. I'm just going to do this one. This would be what I'm picking second, but I have it pulled up. So I'm gonna go with "Merry Christmas, Baby" by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
All right, that's your second.
Yeah, no, it's just because I had the band pulled up. My first one before that would be "Last Christmas" by Wham.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I just
Hold on,
needed to
hold on,
find
hold
That's
on,
it.
hold on. Last Christmas,
by Wham.
which yeah, I know, get whammed. And then Merry Christmas Baby is by who again?
Bruce Springsteen and somebody else. Hold on.
It's his band. I know you're talking the Easy Street Band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah. Michael?
I'm gonna go with my favorite Christmas song, and that is going to be "Believe" by Josh Groban, which is in the Polar Express for people who don't know it off the rip.
That's a good pick.
Banger of a song.
That is.
That's just like you're driving home from church Christmas Eve, about to have probably a nice family Christmas Eve dinner, and that song's just blaring. That gets you in the Christmas vibes right there.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. That is a great song. I'm gonna go with my second pick, "Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow," by D. Martin. Such a good one. And then I'm gonna go off the beaten path with this one. I'm Christmas Eve / Sarajevo 12/24 by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is an absolute banger.
That's a banger of a song.
So I'm just gonna put Christmas Eve. Michael.
For my third pick, I'm going to go "Happy Xmas, War is Over" by John Lennon.
You stole it.
That's a banger.
Yeah, that's a great song. Love that song.
Final two
R.I.P.
to
John
you.
Lennon.
I gotta redirect.
That was crisp.
That was Chris.
Yeah, it's so good.
Such a good song.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna go with "Please Come Home for Christmas" by the Eagles.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's Christmas.
I needed to make sure that was the thing I was thinking about. And then I'm gonna go with I love Frank Sinatra, so I'll go with "Jingle Bells." Frank Sinatra.
Jingle bells.
Oh, Jingle Bells is a steal in round 4.
So, I there's another one I want to pick too, but
Michael.
I'm between two right now. Actually, three. What should I do? I'll go with this one. I am going to go with I think this, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to go with "Wonderful Christmas" by Paul McCartney.
That's a good.
And then I guess after this, I'll say the ones I was kind of.
Yeah, we can say the ones we left off or that we were thinking of.
Is this your last pick?
This is the final pick. There's a lot of good ones out here.
Yeah, like the one where Chase definitely could have been a part of because there's such an abundance of them.
I am going to go with. Ooh. There's so many. I want to make a good pick here. It's a little bit of a Catholic pick here. I'm gonna go with. I want to make sure I get the right.
Are you going with "Oh Holy Night"?
We'll just go with "O Come All Ye Faithful."
we missed. I will say this: we missed.
No specific artist.
What's it called?
Anyone but Pentatonics, actually.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, we missed
Andy
that.
Williams.
We missed Silver Bells.
This is actually, I would like to switch my picks.
You can't. That's
Nah,
okay.
it's done deal.
Do They Know It's Christmas by Band Aid.
Oh,
It's really good.
yeah.
And then
It's
Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'm
better
like,
than that Bruce Springsteen song. But that's just my
It's the
opinion.
most wonderful time of the year. Andy Williams.
And the end. Yeah.
Feliz Navidad.
I'm not picking that.
The Christmas song.
The Christmas.
Nat
Well,
King Cole.
that was between Nat King Cole and
Yeah.
Sleigh Ride.
Also just Carol the Bells.
Yeah, but I kind of encompassed that.
Yeah, you
with
kind of
Christmas
snagged
Eve.
that one.
Yeah.
No, what did we say? Noel or whatever?
Yeah, Noel.
Okay.
Holy
Well,
Night.
Blue Christmas or
Holy
White
Night.
Christmas.
Run Rudolph Run.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Melakaliki Maka.
Melakaliki Maka.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a bad song.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Wait.
Christmas, baby.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That's like an old. Oh, and Grinch.
Oh, the Grinch.
I think the Grinch is the most played on the radio.
Oh, 100%.
That one is
100%.
played on repeat.
Dude, also reading this tweet, apparently Martindale, Michigan's DC, and Rushmore hated each other for the last 5 months of this year.
You should see. Did you see my TikTok I sent you about Michigan? Yeah, if you not Kim Jong Un.
That was pretty funny.
All right.
I died laughing watching that.
Yeah.
We got some bowl picks coming your way. Currently going on, Western Kentucky just took a fourth quarter lead in the New Orleans Bowl, 20-16 with 7 minutes left. We are all on with WKU. Let's talk about this 8 p.m. kick, 2 minutes. UNLV, Ohio, Frisco Bowl. Ohio's coach just had all those scandals. I think UNLV runs it here. Y'all agree?
I do kind of, the only bad part about bowl season now is like you have all the opt outs. So some of these games, it's just like, I don't think it's really even close. Like the last game.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little less fun, but still, it's football.
It is football. We're all on UNLV. Christmas Eve, one of my favorite Christmas Eve traditions. 7 p.m. Central Time kick. The Hawaii Bowl. Cal has to Hawaii. Me and the producer are in agreement here. I think Hawaii gets it done. It's a home game. You're not going to have the same distractions Cal's going to have in the Hawaii Bowl. And that's basically my reasoning. And I think Hawaii's a good team. It's a tough travel for Cal. Michael, you like Hawaii here?
Yeah, dude. I mean, Hawaii Bowl, Christmas Eve. Pretty sure they're like undefeated in that or something. I don't know.
Probably so.
They always play in it.
They're
They
always playing it whenever they make a bowl. So
Luke, you like Cal?
Oh, the quarterback.
Yeah,
I feel
quarterback.
like he's definitely from Hawaii or has some Hawaiian descent. A little bit of a homecoming game, and I think the quarterback's really good. The freshman. I'm not going to attempt his name because I will butcher it. He's not transferring. I get they lost the coach, but I got a feeling they want to win this game. Start the new regime under what's the Oregon's DC name? Whatever his name.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yep.
regime question mark?
We are all on Northwestern over Central Michigan in the, I'm not kidding, Sports Bowl. We are, everybody, and I'll let Luke explain himself here. Me, Chase, and Michael are on New Mexico in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl over Minnesota. Luke, you like Minnesota here?
Yeah, because PJ Fleck, for some reason, wins crappy bowl games almost every year. They go like 6-6, 7-5, and I just feel like
I think this is a
he'll win
big
this
game for Coach Eck in New
Oh, it
Mexico,
definitely
and I
is,
think they're going
but-
to take a step in the right direction.
I'm just gonna go with the PJ Fleck. What's it called? The quarter zips are in fashion now. I mean, he always wears the quarter zip, so throw that out there.
In the First Responder Bowl, we are unsurprisingly all on FIU. UTSA's half their team is gone, so it's
You're welcome for the research.
yes.
Also,
Thank you, Luke.
saw it on Twitter.
The Texas Bowl, everybody but Chase is on UH. I think Houston has a lot to prove in this game and a lot more to play for.
Yeah.
Also, kind of a home game. Military Bowl, we're all on Pitt. And I actually originally had East Carolina until their quarterback transferred and opted out. So
That is why I have it.
I
Yeah,
easy
definitely
switch.
same. I definitely knew about that.
In the Pinstripe Bowl, we're all on Clemson except Luke. Luke, you're on Penn State. Why do you like the Nittany Lions?
Because I feel like ever since Drew Aller got hurt, Penn State's been playing a lot better. So I just, it's a little gut feeling here. They're both awful. Just give me Penn State.
I think Clemson absolutely wants to win this game so bad. So
I do too. I mean, if we were to show this matchup at the beginning of the year, you would have thought
Playoff.
this was the playoff semifinal game.
So, another fun bowl game, the Fenway Bowl, UConn Army, and we are actually surprisingly everyone
No, we're
but
not.
Chase.
No, we're not. Army's star receiver Sky Bell, UConn star receiver, star running back, and star quarterback are all opting out.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
That wide
We're all in
receiver's
Army.
a stud.
Yeah. Hey, didn't get into Michigan, so
Pop Tart Bowl, we are all on
Yeah, but Sharon Moore did.
BYU. But LJ Martin out in this game. They'll be okay.
yeah. Oh, okay. Give me the-
Georgia Tech's limping into this game.
Also, why is all Chase's logos big?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
slightly bigger,
I just did
and
that.
it's pissing me
Yeah.
off.
It's with me too. Miami, Ohio's quarterback opted out, which
The other one?
leads no, just to Quan Finn. I'm just
Oh, okay.
reiterating. And their wide receiver Campiri entered the portal. We are all on Fresno State except the producer, Michael. You're with Miami, Ohio.
I just had him in my bowl pickups.
This is all mine too. I'm not changing it.
In the New Mexico Bowl.
Yeah.
So we are all in North Texas except Chase, who's on San Diego State. Same day, different slide. Pabula's out, so I went with switched my pick to Virginia.
Yeah, but Ahmad Hardy's playing. He's coming back next year from Missouri.
yeah, I don't care. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, they beat Mississippi State without Padula, so
Yeah, I'm saying Virginia may have been better in state this year. One of my favorite bowl matchups of the entire year is a rivalry game, in conference in division matchup between two teams that have already played this year, Georgia Southern and App State. Georgia Southern got the upper edge last time, so give me the Mountaineers. I think they're going to be juiced to play this game. I think both teams are. I think it'll be a fun game. One of those like low opt out, very competitive, fun bowl games in the Birmingham Bowl. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Who knows? Michael, you went with App State as well.
yep.
Yup.
Dude, we were watching at the end of the game.
Father just shut down the blinds. Luke, you went with Georgia Southern.
I think they're the better team. I think they're just going to win the game. I've been absolutely hoed by the you don't beat a good team twice philosophy a bunch. So we're going to go with Georgia Southern.
We're on La Tech against Coastal in the Independence Bowl. One,
Coastal's.
it's literally at home for La Tech in Shreveport, Louisiana. Pretty much. And then two, yeah, Coastal is like a shell of itself right now. So it's gonna be it should actually be pretty heavily La Tech. We are split down the middle. Michael and Chase on the Vols, me and Luke on the Fighting Illini. Luke, I like you. One, Chris Brazel is not playing in this game for Tennessee, which I think is a huge neither is Peyton Lewis. So I think this is a pretty good spot for Illinois, who wants to end what looked like a promising season on a high note. Also, for whatever reason, and this is no shade towards SEC, but the Big Ten tends to win the Music City Bowl. So it's like just this bowl specifically tends to go to the non-SEC team.
Iowa wins this game every other year.
Yeah. So you also like Illinois here.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of hate watching here, but
No, 100% me too.
why not? We're going. Which I'm not trying to say this. I feel like some of these random bowl games, the Big Ten just tends to win. For some, they usually have a pretty solid bowl record, even though like they're obviously not as good as the SEC. So why not go with Illinois?
And Michael, you went with the Vols.
Yeah. Illinois' defense is literally just like non-existent. Like it is Swiss cheese. So I think it's Swiss Army cheese. I think any Tennessee player that goes out there is going to cook them. And I think Joe Yag's playing, right?
Yes, he is.
Is
And-
Luke is Altmaier playing too?
Yeah, Altmaier's playing.
Yeah, the Unk Bowl between these two quarterbacks.
Well, this will be the end goal.
Making a case for the draft for both of them. But this actually probably is one of the better games.
Yeah.
So I like SEC to pull it out.
And we are all on.
And it's the Music City Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, home game.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
home game for Tennessee. We're all on USC to take down TCU in a virtual home game in the Alamo Bowl.
Which would have been good if Hoover was playing. I feel
Yeah,
like
but-
Yeah.
Winning a game, but
Yeah, no Hoover, no Horn.
Alpha playing?
yeah, he
Yes.
comes back next year. I think he's just
Oh, yeah, he
I
does.
think I'm back from whatever.
That's bets. For college football. Michael, just read Chase's. I like Hawaii -1.5. I think they win, so I think they win by more than 2. I like Northwestern to absolutely trounce Central Michigan. I think it's an unfair matchup. FIU money line against UTSA. Cannot believe they're still underdogs. BYU -4.5 against Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tart Bowl. And then Virginia money line against Mizzou in the Gator Bowl. Luke, who do you like?
All right, so I got Cal money line versus Hawaii. I think they won. I got FIU money line versus UTSA because of some information. I got Pitt -10. No quarterback for ECU is going to be a huge issue. I got Houston -2.5 versus LSU. Again, LSU's been a dumpster fire this year, and I think Houston, like you said earlier, is a lot more to play for in the spot. And then I'm going to go with USC -6.5 versus TCU because, again, no quarterback, which is a huge thing in these bowl games.
Yeah, no Hoover's a problem. Michael, what did Chase put?
Chase decided to not go with money line and Cal to cover 1.5. All right.
Shade already.
Central Michigan to cover 10.5 against the Northwestern. It's gonna be a close game, not a blowout with these two mid teams. FIU money line, love it. Pitt -10 against ECU. ECU's quarterback just went out. Pitt's gonna run up the score, and then LSU money line against Houston. SEC teams are just better than the Big 12, even though LSU probably has like 15 guys playing. They're probably still going to beat them.
The MVP.
MVP. Week 17 NFL predictions coming your way now. On Christmas Day, we have an absolute crap slate. Once looked like a great slate is now an absolute crap slate. We're all on the boys to take care of the commies, which should happen due to the commies not having a quarterback. We're all the Lions to take care of 9-less Vikings. We're all on the Bronx to take care of whoever is quarterbacking for the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody.
Also, it's very depressing. JJ actually looked good in his last 2 games, and he got hurt again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously a big JJ supporter.
Call him Derrick Rose.
Honestly, I mean, and then of course Jalen, which I do want to talk about this a little bit since Michael did leave us to go piss because he doesn't have that built up bladder like we do.
Yeah, we've had some training.
But those 2 picks, I don't think were his fault.
No, I agree.
Like they both hit off Jalen Naylor. Jalen Naylor, you should have gotten Saddam. That's the last thing I'll say.
Chase is on the Texans. The rest of us are on the Chargers. We are split 50-50. Me and Chase on the Ravens. You and Michael on the Packers. Why do you think the Pack get it done here?
I just think the Packers have a lot more to play for. I honestly do not think there's a way the Ravens can come back and win this division. And I think Malik Willis looked serviceable in that game. Even though he fumbled away in overtime, he looks somewhat serviceable. He's very athletic, and which is a gift for a backup quarterback. You can escape with your legs, and I think that is going to help him against this Ravens defense, which their pass rush is not that good.
Everybody's on the Bengals except Michael, who's on the Cardinals. What should we here to explain that?
I got you. Jacoby Brissett's the man. Who runs a better corner route than Trey McBride?
He's back now. We're all on the Steelers against the Browns, all on the Saints against the Titans, all on the Jags against the Colts, all on the Bucks against the Dolphins, all on the Pats against the Jets. Michael is taking the Panthers. The rest of us are taking the Seahawks. If you'll sit back down, why do you like Carolina in this spot?
The Carolina Reaper, Bryce Young. I don't know. Seattle's gotten lucky. They're a great team. I'm not going to lie. They're a great team. Great defense. Sam Darnold. Dude, the Panthers just win games. It's just weird. They win games somehow, some way against better teams, and they lose to worse teams. This is a better team. Therefore, they're going to win.
They're drawn. Which, honestly, I'm probably going to bet the money line. Because, the last time they were plus, 300 favorites, you know what game that was?
Probably the Cowboy game.
The Packers.
Oh.
When they went into Lambeau. And I think they'll probably cover. I think this is a very close game. It's just, I feel like this is a little, Sam Darnold coming back to one of his former homes does not play well.
Darnold was on the Panthers? Jeez.
Him and Baker were on the Panthers at the same time.
Yeah.
What would it be if you had one of those?
I wish I could see through the blinds, but West Kentucky, yeah, they just scored.
Touchdown.
We are split on the Giants and the Raiders, which should be an absolute primetime game. Luke, are you in the Bills or the Eagles here?
Oh shit. I have the Bills. I forgot.
Okay, we're all for the Bills against the Eagles. We're split 50-50 on the Bears and the Niners.
This
Me and
is-
Luke on the
this is
Bears,
game of the
Jason,
week.
Michael on the Niners. Michael, why do you like the Niners here?
This is game of the week, definitely for sure, right here. Huge playoff implications for the 1 seed in the NFC right here. I think it's probably a little recency bias just because I watched that 49er offense last night absolutely slice a pretty solid Colts defense. Now, yes, they were hurt in the secondary, but they kept hitting it over and over in the game that this Colts front seven, had given up around 2 to 3 rushing yards per game or per attempt. And McCaffrey was slicing with like 7 yards a carry. So, and Purdy just looks good right now. If Kittle doesn't play, he got hurt and sat out the rest of the fourth quarter. If he doesn't play, it's going to be tough. But I think they sat him out to play in this game because if the 49ers win out, they do get the 1 seed. So I like them at home. Yeah, because they play they play and then they either play the Seahawks or the Rams. So yeah.
Yep. And then we were all in the Rams against the Falcons. All right. The producer's question of the week.
All right. I got a question for y'all. You know, I thought about this and I don't think I could really come up with an answer, but there's definitely different scenarios. So my question is, if at all any, was there a time in an NFL game for the fans to rush the field? What would have what would have to equal to sum up fans rushing the field on an NFL game? Because if you really think about it, everything crazy that's happened in college football has also probably happened in the NFL, but the fans just haven't rushed the field. And I was wondering, maybe you could think of a scenario that's happened before that they should have, or like you could think of something that's happened that had just like, you know, the perfect brew for something for the fans in the NFL to rush the field. And also, why don't they rush the field? That doesn't really make any sense. Does that just, I mean,
I can tell you why they don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're paid. They don't want their players to get hurt. They're paid. They don't want some lunatic running on the field.
First off,
sucks.
way more security.
Yeah.
Way more
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
2, usually an older crowd. You gotta understand college.
yeah, sure.
Younger crowd.
If you get enough beers in me, I'll jump.
Yeah.
Jump into a field.
So here's I have a blanket scenario. Any team that has never or hasn't made the Super Bowl in like 25 plus years or has never been to the Super Bowl, I think the Cowboys, if they win the NFC Championship at home, should totally rush the field. I think that totally makes sense.
I was about to say, because you can't do it in a Super Bowl because you're not at home.
But a conference championship game with a team that either has never been or hasn't, won their conference in X number of years, or like the Jets, if they clinched the playoffs in the last game of the year at home, they should go ahead, dude, storm the field. That's the only thing I come up with.
I got a fun one. If the Browns ever go like they're 0 with like 14 and win that 15th game, they should rush the field. Like any sort of like stuff like that.
Well, I was just thinking of, like I felt like if the Bears would have rushed the field last week
that would have been
after finally beating the Packers at home in so long, and the wait happened in overtime on like game-winning catch, like that brews for rushing on the field.
Oh, I agree.
Have you seen like the interviews from people in the stadium? Like there were sections crying, tears of joy. Like
so
that would have been awesome.
And also, I thought about the Hail Mary last year from the Commanders.
Oh yeah,
that was insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Those were just 2 scenarios I thought about, but I was like, I think it'd be so cool, like just for it one time, because it's never happened before. So it would just have to be the perfect time.
What fan base would try and do that? 'Cause I already have an idea.
I mean, probably the Bills. That's probably the number one that comes
I
in.
think Philly.
Or Philly.
Philly would be the one fan base, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Pre-week 17 NFL power rankings. I'll start with Chase. He had the Rams 1, Seahawks 2, Bills 3, Jags 4, and Niners 5. All right, now me. I do think the Seahawks, they beat the Rams, right? So why would you still have the Rams at 1? I've got the Seahawks at 1. The Jags are absolutely the hottest team in the NFL right now. They just went into Mile High and beat Denver, so I've got them at 2. Bump down the Rams to 3. Pats keep winning there at 4. And then new to my power rankings are the team that have won like 7 games in a row, the LA Chargers. So they have currently just made an absolute unbelievable push. Justin Herbert is playing unbelievable. The defense looks good. I mean, this came out of nowhere. This was a team we thought with their battered offensive line was going to do absolutely nothing for the rest of the year. They have found a way with Coach Harbaugh to get this done in LA. Jim does win. Got the Chargers at 5. What about you, Luke?
We got the same top 4, and I was going to go with the Chargers because I had thinking about this at work, but I'm like, I can't do the same 5. So we're going to go with the Bears. They beat the Packers, who have literally been their owner. They've had them collared. They've had them whipped forever. Like, you've got Favre, Rodgers, and for most part, Love. I mean, it's been forever. They finally are getting over that hump. Also, Caleb Williams making that throw, then immediately putting his hands in his pocket was awesome. Like,
That was so sick.
like he knows it's already complete.
He's like, damn, that was a dime. Let me stay warm.
That was awesome. So Ben Johnson's got the boys fired up. I've seen a bunch of people compare him to like your high school coach because of the energy and like sort of moxie he brings to the field. So got the Bears at 5.
Oh, I also saw this TikTok, and I want to bring this up to y'all because of if you look at these teams and how there's so many new teams, that are being successful this year. Who is your coach of the year? Who's winning coach of the year?
Liam Cohen, without a doubt. It is without a doubt. Got clowned for his Duval. And this is a Jaguars team that has been in the dumps other than that one year they went to the AFC Championship game. Liam Cohen is wholeheartedly my coach of the year.
I don't know. I think it's between him and Ben Johnson.
Vrabel, actually,
I
in my
think
opinion.
they're so bad. The Bears literally, if they
Did the Lions get shut even more?
Yes, they did. But I honestly think you can kind of throw Mike McDaniel in there.
I was about to say, how are you not
Because-
Mike McDonald, I
Or
think?
McDonald, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say,
wrong Mike.
y'all both have the Seahawks as the number 1 team
Yes.
in the NFL, and you didn't even mention the coach.
Yeah, no, I think he can be thrown in there because that defense, he's a defensive guy. His defense has been absolutely elite. He came up through the Harbaugh regime with Jim and John. I mean, like that team is so freaking good. I mean, but I feel like with your first time coaches with Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen all being in like I'd say top 8 teams in
Yeah.
the NFL.
Vrabel,
I know Vrabel, but the only knock to Vrabel, I think, is how many they have the same amount of wins against teams above 500 that the Giants do, which is 2. The Giants only have 2 wins on the year. I think, which obviously not his fault
right.
because they haven't played anybody, but still they're winning at an elite level.
And you also still have coaches like Sean Payton, got the Broncos still a solid record. And also Chase is number 5. I mean, if you really think about it, what Kyle Shanahan has been dealt
Yes.
with the injuries that he has had for his team to have a shot of the number 1 seed in the NFC. I mean, that has to come down to coaching, right?
Yeah.
And picking up the right guys in free agency, putting him in there.
McCaffrey.
Or what?
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but like he picked
no, their defense is also very
like
good.
Eric
Fred
Hendricks.
Warner also
Yeah.
I mean, they've got so many guys who have been hurt. I mean,
It's
Coach
gonna
of
be
the Year
interesting.
race is
Yeah,
super tight.
it's gonna be interesting to see who they pick.
NFL best bets for Week 17. I'll let Michael read Chase's again. I've got the Cowboys -7 against the Commies. Broncos -13.5. Forgot who they played. Buccaneers -5.5. Saints -2.5. And the under 42.5 in the Giants and Las Vegas Raiders. Luke, who do you got?
I got the Steelers -3 versus the Browns. If they don't cover that, I'm going to be livid. I got the Saints -2.5 versus the Titans. I got Bears money line versus the 49ers. And then I've got a Lad McConkey anytime touchdown versus the Texans at +205. And then we got something crazy. I was looking for some big odds. We got Teteroa McMillan, the rookie wide receiver out of Arizona, first touchdown at +1200.
Love it.
So
Michael, who did Chase have?
Edmonton 1-0.
Yes,
Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Nuge. Yep.
Cowboys giving up on the season. Maybe we're actually do something smart and trying to get a bad draft pick. So I'm going to take the Commanders +7.
Well, I don't need that for the futures, but continue.
Yeah. Thank the Lord Dak Prescott threw 2 touchdowns.
I only need 2 more.
Also, side note, sorry, because this is not my bets or anything, but right before our game started, noon on Sunday, did you get that ESPN notification where it was like,
No.
will the Cowboys sit Dak Prescott for the rest of the season? And I was like,
I
no.
would be so pissed.
I'm going to do that, though.
Chase had the Commanders +7, Lions -7.5, Texans money line at +110, Steelers -3.5, and Bills -1.5.
Completely stole his thunder, man.
Yeah, man. Like, we're moving this along. Look at our time elapsed on this video. All right. Our college basketball picks for this week. We've got some bangers of a matchup there for you. Starting off with the Harvard Crimson of the Ivy League against the Colgate Patriots of the Patriot League. Colgate Raiders, excuse me. Wow, that was bad of me.
Does anyone want to check the Harvard St. John's score right now? Harvard was
John's-
winning.
St. John's ran them out the door, by the way.
Harvard was winning 29-24.
Well, I will say this about St. John's: whenever they play these crappy teams, like halfway through the first half, they're losing like every game.
Yeah.
They end up beating them by 30 because they were losing to Townsend by like 3 or something with 10 minutes to go a few weeks ago.
My analysis on this game, I've got Colgate. Actually, we all have Colgate. Chase the only one that took Harvard. Colgate shoots the ball better, so Colgate.
Yeah.
St. Mary's heading to Loyola Marymount.
Chase changed his pick.
Yeah, he did. Everyone's on St. Mary's except me. I'm on the mountain here. I think St. Mary's, one very slow team, low place to play, likes to keep the game low scoring. This Loyola Marymount team can shoot the three
good.
lights out. So I just think they hit at Gome. I think they split this season series. So I think they win the home game and rein in the threes from deep and then kind of like change the kind of pace of play that St. Mary's wants to play, keep them uncomfortable and get the job done. Luke, I'm going to ask for your analysis here. Why does St. Mary's get the job done here?
I just think defense is going to play a big role in this. And granted, LMU shoots the three at a very good rate. I just think St. Mary's has that defensive culture, which they've always had in the West Coast Conference, and I think that they prevail with that.
Next up, we have San Francisco heading to Seattle University. Seattle 11-2, San Francisco 8-5. Me and Chase on Seattle, Luke and Michael on San Francisco. I like Seattle. They like to play pretty like it's twice as quick as San Francisco does. Another kind of like San Francisco likes to play slow. Seattle likes to play fast. Pace of play typically goes to the home team, and they just shoot the ball better than San Francisco, especially from the paint. And San Francisco is kind of apt to turn the ball over, and Seattle is 50th in the country in steals. So I like Seattle to get it done here at home. This is a mid-major team that's been pretty hot. Why do you like San Francisco, Luke?
I just was looking at it, and they make more threes a game. And a big thing in all these mid-major teams is who makes more threes. And I think that's a big thing that San Francisco makes more threes a game than Seattle does. Also, is it played at Seattle?
Yes.
That gym is awesome. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
it?
it is
It's a
awesome.
high school gym. It's literally Christian Brothers gym is bigger than it. It's tiny.
CAA conference play, we're on William & Mary against Towson. We are split down the middle between Yale.
Why is
and
Yale? Why y'all pick
Alabama.
Yale?
Dude,
I also can validify this.
they only beat USF by what, 10? And Yale shoots it elite. Yale freaking ranks.
Okay, yeah. So Yale is 9th in the country on field goal percentage, 3rd in the country in three-point field goal percentage. They play at the 272nd slowest pace in the country. This team is going to make Alabama so uncomfortable.
Yes.
The only way they lose this game is if Alabama just bullies them with size and makes them – it essentially goes to a perimeter zone and makes them uncomfortable in the three-point line.
And another thing with Bama is if you look at some of these really good Bama teams in the past,
And they're 11-1.
they play defense. And this Bama team does not play defense at all. Like, they let USF, who is a solid mid-major team. They're not bad. They're not great, but a solid mid-major team score what, 70-something on them?
Yep.
I mean, like, and then, they played somebody else, too, that was a mid-major that they let run up the score. Alabama just doesn't play defense, and Yale's got a prolific, in my opinion, a prolific offense for a mid-major team, even a prolific offense in the country. The only thing that's worrying me is Alabama's athleticism. I think that might cause some issues because, I mean, you are going to be playing a bunch of white dudes. So that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. So
I'm really excited for this next matchup in the MAC. 13-0. Miami, Ohio is playing 10-3 Bowling Green. Dude, Miami can score, and they can score a lot. 4th in the country in points per game. Love the Redhawks here. You agree?
see, I am worried though because they've not played a soul like have not played a soul.
I would back you off of that. Yeah, that's what I actually looked up the matchup and I was like, oh, Miami Ohio's 13-0. I was like, they are due to lose at some point, and this is the first solid team they really play at Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green just gets it done, man.
Yeah, because Bowling Green,
They're due for a loss. It's not like Miami Ohio's going to go undefeated forever.
yeah,
So-
because I mean, you have these two and then Akron, who are all very solid teams out of the MAC. So the MAC should be pretty entertaining this year.
It should be. As should the Mountain West. We have New Mexico at Boise State for our final game. We are all New Mexico except Luke. Why did the Broncos get done here?
I think at home, big thing, and I also think so. They lost a really big, a colossal game at the beginning of the year. Colossal.
D2 team, by the way.
I know. They lost probably one of the biggest upsets in college basketball history. I think they've kind of gotten their footing back a little more, and they're playing better basketball. And I'm just going. They're at home. Granted, they lost at home to Hawaii Pacific, but like you played 10 games because you can take a bunch of these teams. Like I'm just gonna throw out Michigan because I've watched Michigan in game 2 or 3 barely beat TCU, but now they're beating Auburn. Gonzaga.
Yeah, man. I'm about to say, this is the
Like-
4th podcast in a row we've brought up the Michigan.
No, it's like teams get better as the year goes on, and I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
So,
I got you.
yeah, no, Boise I think is getting better, and because they were, I think a few people's pick to, not saying ours, but like a few people like in the media has picked to win the Mountain West. So I think Boise's kind of got to go.
All right, moving on to hockey. The IHF World Juniors is one of my favorite things in the year, especially at this time of the year. It's a very entertaining tournament. All the futures of the NHL are playing in it. We have 2 groups this year. Always Canada and the U.S. separate, usually at least. It is played in Minneapolis this year, home of the Miracle on Ice. So I think that it kind of hits home for the Americans as we try to defend our World Juniors Championship against those evil Canadians. Group A, USA, Germany, Slovakia, Sweden, and Switzerland. And Group B, Canada, Czechia, Denmark, Finland, and Latvia. Group B is absolutely the stronger of these 2 groups with Canada, Czechia, Finland, and Latvia all in it. Denmark shouldn't pose too much of a threat. However, Canada should win Group B, but do not be surprised if Finland, Czechia give Canada a run for their money. And then Latvia has always been that sneaky team that has really good goaltending that could pose a threat in Group B. Again, top 4 teams make it to bracket play. The last 2 play in what I love. There's a relegation system for this and promotion. There is a World Juniors like B.
That's how I was going to ask. Why is Germany? I feel like Germany's not a hockey. I
So
could be wrong.
last year it was Kazakhstan was in this spot.
My king,
Leon Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl is from Germany, and he is the 4th highest in points in the NHL right now.
So we're also, I obviously don't keep up with this as much. Is Russia not good?
So Russia's banned currently.
Oh, so they're,
Yeah.
it's like the doping.
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
Well, and the war.
Russia's been banned from everything. And
Well,
This tournament was absolutely way more elite with Russia in it and posed much bigger threat to Canada and the U.S. Right now, that third threat is Sweden and Finland, basically. And Czechia's been actually it's a solid tournament. The U.S. got a pretty good draw in these groups, other than Sverige, Sweden. Is very good in their junior level. Switzerland has had good teams over the year, as have Slovakia. Again, Germany against either Denmark or Latvia should be that relegation battle. So we have our World Juniors picks. Unsurprisingly, us Americans all have the Americans winning gold. We all have us beating the Canadians in the gold medal game, which will be absolutely electric if that's what happens. Bronze is where we differ a little bit. Me and Chase agree. I think Sweden is by far and cut the 3rd best team here. However, Luke, you like Czechia.
I did a little research. I Googled this when I was picking, and they've medaled in the last 2. I mean, they've got, I don't know.
Knock,
Yeah.
Adam Notby,
Thank
and
you.
Tomas Pelletin.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
you go.
No, they've got some good guys. They medaled in the last 2, and I don't see why they can't medal again. Well, I think they can medal again based off the track record and their 3 young stars. So I like Czechia.
Michael, you like Suomi. Finland.
Yes, sir. Finland. Their 4th best odds to win it. So wanted to be a little different than Sweden. So went with Finland. Shout out Patrick Starr.
Some key player to watch out for is Gab McKenna, the projected number 1 overall pick for Team Canada. He will be the threat to the American title. As we end our episode with hot and not, my hot is Michael Van Gerwen. First off, got to see his walkout today. Got to see him throw absolute beauty of darts against that Irishman, William O'Connor. I think, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I kind of am. I think this could be a Van Gerwen year to where we introduce him as now the 4-time world champion, Michael Van Gerwen. My knot is probably the easiest knot I've had in a while. DK Metcalf punched a fan and consequently lost like $40 million. So that's a pretty big knot. He did appeal the suspension. It was upheld as of 30 minutes ago, obviously.
I want to add something. So, he said that the guy called him racist stuff.
Yeah, there's a video of him not doing that.
I know. They got it all on video.
Hey, it's racist to call you by your government name these days.
Apparently it is. Luke, what's your hot knot?
Hot. We got the beach. I mean,
Bang.
half a day of work.
Double
week.
bang. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Double rip. So I got half a day of work this week. Work till noon tomorrow. Then I go in on Monday, and then it is bender time, and I'm gonna be a full-blown alcoholic like my profession. So that is my hot, and then my not are the Chargers. They posted a little video on social media about Cooper Beebe. They what did he say? It was
Hold R, which is
Hold R.
an audible call.
which is an audible call that the center makes, and he's calling the front. They bleeped it out to make it seem like he said the N-word. Now, in the video, he says the audible. The dude asked him, "Did you just call me the N-word?" He goes, "No, I did not. It's hold R." Right? Yeah. So, and the Chargers social media team decided to post that. Now, Cooper Beebe is not a fan of this because, I mean, if you see that at first glance and you really don't pay attention to it, it looks like Cooper Beebe is a flaming racist. So that is my not, because they have not said anything. Honestly, he really should think about suing them, because I think he's getting a bunch of shit online for this. So that is my not.
Michael,
Losers.
your
Chargers.
hot is absolutely generational, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my hot for last. So I'll go with my not first. Class. Teacher blows having assignment due on Christmas Eve tomorrow. So I gotta get that done after this actually. And then my hot white boy of the year.
He is absolutely
White boy of the
He's
century.
the runaway white boy of the year.
Oh, let's not call it runaway. I mean, we still got guys like Drake May making a huge case.
Right.
But
Maybe
But
runaway. It's definitely-
this past week, he has separated himself from the group as just white boy of the year. Timothy Chalamet has so much culture, aura, just like going on Drewski's could have been records tryouts. It's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. There's just some great clips. Just go look it up. They're so funny. But yeah, Timothy Chalamet, he's a different breed with the buzzed hair. Let's just say that.
Also,
him coming out to Batista at the WWE podcast came out to Batista's interesting, did the machine gun and everything. Timothy Chalamet is
Also, he just knows ball.
He does know. He just knows ball. He's just a dude. Timothy Chalamet is a dude.
He is a
and
dude.
like Brian said, you gotta have dudes to win in March. So
watch the Knicks in the playoffs.
yeah, he skipped something. Yeah.
I mean, like, it was a big time award show too.
All right, that does it for
My
episode
goat.
32 of Storm Summary Sports. This has been Will Spain, Luke Waldman, and Michael Spain. Merry Christmas, everyone, and tune in for a very special edition of Storm Summary Sports on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Good night.